This is TV18 and you're watching CNBC TV18.
Presented by IL&FS Financial Services, the Infrastructure Investment Bank.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.
In a bid to promote networking beyond boardrooms, IL&FS Financial Services is back with the 2015 edition of I Run for Fun. This initiative, aimed primarily at young corporate India, ventures into promoting a healthy lifestyle by bringing together young financiers for a marathon run at Mumbai's finest financial centre, the Bandra Kurla Complex. Setting up the pace is CNBC TV18's Veena Krishna, who shared a tete-a-tete with the personalities who pioneered the run in the first place. These personalities include Ramesh Bawa, MD and CEO, IL&FS Financial Services, Vijay Lakshmi Iyer, Chairperson, Bank of India, and Ranjan Dhawan, Executive Director, Bank of Baroda.
Okay, Mr. Bawa, I would start with you. You have this initiative, Run for Fun, which is a 5 and 10 kilometer run. What was the reason or the logic behind having this?
Well, this marathon basically is for the employees of all the participating institutions, and especially the financial sector. This is really, so far we have not opened it for the outside. And we have utmost thing is basically the fitness of the employees in our mind. For me, that means for all of us, basically, we take our employees as a valuable assets of the company. So we need to really take care of health. We need to take out their stress, everyday stress, and we need to see their smiling face so that they are able to give us the good protection.
Okay. Mrs. Iyer, then you have also, all three of you have come together. So how is it that you think it has benefited your employees and also, three of you coming together?
Yeah, as told by Mr. Bawa, we joined Marathon with them last year, in fact. And it brings about a separate bonding amongst the employees. So when Mr. Bawa came to us, then we immediately joined, and there was a huge response last year. And this year also employees are looking forward to it. And as I said, it brings together the staff employees and also an awareness that we need to take care of our health. And human capital is the biggest capital of the bank, but human capital is one asset which we just take them for granted. So although I agree that every individual is responsible for his own health and has to take care of himself, or what would relieve him from the stresses, ultimately this coming together of three institutions, and maybe in due course a few more institutions we can bring them together, because the BKC is become a land of financial institutions. So that would be really great. And this is the mainly, in fact, we have in mind that we create greater awareness amongst all of us.
Okay, Mr. Dhawan, how did you really come into it, and what is the benefit that you see of it?
I think the major benefit that we see out of it is that most people in this country, especially in our offices, don't exercise at all. So the first thing when they go for a marathon, and this was certainly true last year, is that they were barely able to do it. And there were people who were huffing and puffing after a couple of kilometers. So it was brought home to them in a very sharp manner that they are unfit. I think it alerts them to the dangers of being unfit.
So do you see, Mrs. Iyer, do you see around you, do you see within your employees, do you see some kind of, is there an agenda to focus on health, whether it's from the management side or, they individually, and how is it also, kind of an agenda in your HR, or how do you go about it?
Yeah, as part of the HR activities, we have started a gym now. So one half of the floor has been devoted to that. So apart from the physical activities, is being done, we have the instructor in the morning as well as in the evening. and I have also organized one to come home to help me out in the exercises. So this is has arisen out of the marathon. As he rightly said, Dhawan, how unfit we are, it really comes out. And especially for ladies, which he mentioned, we go for a few days and then we just stop it. So then when some part of the body starts aching, then we realize, yes, that part of the body is demanding exercise. And when you do that, you do come out of the pain, you know. So then this is really, I mean, as we age, this is especially true. And we have taken these two initiatives actually for us, for the bank.
Baba, what is the response that you have got in terms of after you started this Run for Fun, you know, within your employees or from people around in BKC?
I tell you, in LFS there is altogether a different culture basically. You know, we also have a large gym. If you look at the gym of the LFS, even if you drop here at morning 6 o'clock, 6:30, you will find a couple of people doing the exercises. Okay. And even after the office hours, you will find my gym full of my employees basically up to 10 o'clock in the night.
But this was when you initiated the Run for Fun in 2013, did you see more people now hitting the gym?
Yeah.
Or, you know, was it there? So the culture started?
No, it was already there,
yeah, okay.
But there is an increase in that. There is an increase in the activities. People are now really much more focused on the health, and the participation is really, it's a very good response. You know, last year that was the first in which we have almost about 2,000 people, and this year I think the participation is touching about 4,000 people.
Coming up, we bring you more insights on how young corporate India can stay healthy. Stay tuned.
And in the morning hours, I try to do some yoga.
ILNFS have been doing this for a couple of years now. When they approached me, the idea sounded very great to endorse such an event, because I am always of the philosophy that we run towards objectives, we run towards goals. So when there is a collective goal and when people are running with collective consciousness, collective energy, it tunes people in to focus on objectives, move towards them, walk towards them and achieve them.
A big budget or a small budget, a populist budget or an elitist budget, a game-changer budget or the status quo. India tracks the budget only on CNBC TV 18. Watch India's most awaited budget with the leaders in budget coverage. The Make in India budget only on CNBC TV 18. 15 years of budget leadership.
Associate sponsor Lloyd Air Conditioners, Jo De Khushiyon Ki Guarantee, and RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies.
Yes, we have the right tool for the job.
A villain is only as good as the technology at his fingertips. Just like in the movies, behind every cunning plan, there's a brilliant mind.
Because in this profession, it really pays to have confidence in your equipment.
You see, all this isn't for its own sake. Every mastermind needs a button that wreaks havoc. World domination is an unfortunate side effect of this one.
A supercharged engine helps for instant power.
We like some luxury without performance. The devil is in the detail.
Oh yes, there's method to our madness. Plan your escape.
Flip the pages of new experiences. Meet over 1,000 authors. More than 1,100 exhibitors, 20 countries. Experience the rich literature from Northeast. And connect with the literatures of Singapore and Korea with Asia's biggest book fair, the New Delhi World Book Fair, from 14th to 22nd February 2015 at Pragati Maidan.
Aryan, we are flying to New York to visit your father?
With a German airline. You know Germans? No. They are a bit different. Always serious. And their food.
Namaste. Grandpa, we are in the wrong place.
No. Everything is fine.
Non-stop you. Lufthansa.
सुनो, गाड़ी की चाबी तो ले लो।
आज नो चाबी। आज से मेरा कारपूल स्टार्ट हो रहा है। सॉरी यार, लेट हो गया।
सुनो।
हाँ।
थैंक यू।
थैंक यू क्यों?
मेरी डायमंड रिंग के लिए।
डायमंड रिंग?
अब तुम कारपूल कर रहे हो, इसका मतलब हर साल हम फ्यूल बिल पे 50,000 तक तो बचा ही लेंगे। अब इतने में तो डायमंड रिंग आ ही जाएगी। आखिर बात तो एक ही है ना?
कारपूल करें और सालाना 50,000 रुपए तक बचाएं। Brought to you by PCRA in public interest.
So Daman, if I can come to you, what is the kind of health schedule you would make? You know, apart from gym, what are the other things that you can think of?
Well, I can personally tell you that at point number 1 in the entire list of things we don't do is we don't exercise. I personally make it a point to walk for 1 hour on at least 4 to 5 times a day. The second sort of thing that we feel, I have noticed all around is that we end up consuming too much sugar. A Coca-Cola here, a biscuit there. These are not only calorie laden, these are sugar laden. And the worst form of cholesterol is through sugar. It is not through meat. People sometimes equate high cholesterol with meat. It is a fact that vegetarians have very high levels of cholesterol. So exercise also is a natural, burner of sugar. I think we need to learn how to compartmentalize. So I think that is the third I would put. The fourth sort of thing which I have noticed and I would like to share with you is there are now many outstanding studies in the field of science in human studies which show that anything less than 7 hours of sleep leads to long-term inflation. I know that there are people who boast about sleeping for less than that, but probably they have a means of catching it up. Maybe they take a nap in the afternoon or what have you. But there are now ample studies showing that less than 7 hours of sleep sets up inflammation in the body. It's very low-grade inflammation. We don't, sort of notice it. But about over 8 or 10 years or 12 years' time, it takes its toll on the body. A lot of heart disease is said to emanate from that. So these are the sort of 4 things that I would like to flag off to you.
Okay. Mr. Baba, what would you say, what are your health tips that you would give?
Private sector has a different kind of color of blood, and I do mix up with the business. Every day I don't go alone. I take my couple of colleagues, I take my joint managing director, deputy managing director, my executive directors
so
with
doing
me.
Business in the
so I do the all
okay.
confidential discussions also in the course, so that
okay.
I end up using my time in a multiple way. So that's what I'm doing it. But under any circumstances, even if I'm sick, I don't miss it. If I am not golfing, then I do my yoga. If I am not doing my yoga, if there's some early morning flight or some other compulsion, then I do treadmill, but I do 45 minutes.
Okay.
That's good.
Mrs. Iyer, what would you say are your health tips?
To be frank, I'm not really very disciplined in the exercise.
I think women are not very disciplined.
That's true, but one needs to, which I'm realizing last 6 to 9 months. When the different parts of your body doesn't cooperate with you, that's the time you really appreciate and then you feel you ought to do. But I certainly try to walk for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes in the night. And in the morning hours, I try to do some yoga. I have a person coming home. So then that takes care of about 35 minutes. I also believe that, of course, apart from the physical health, mental health is what matters more, and that leads to one's tension, the personal as well as a professional career. I do read books, many books, on the spirituality also. I do Shambhavi Mahamudra. So then that releases me of the tension. The unique feature of the mankind is the plasticity of the mind, If you can discipline your mind not to dwell on the past and always make it to be on the current, present, focus it on the present, then I think the mind gets disciplined, orderly, and the whatever stumble and fall you have had in the past doesn't really bother you much, and you look forward.
So how would Ms. Iyer, what in your organization, in Bank of India, what would you say to the employees who perhaps say, we don't have time, there's so much work and we work for such long hours?
The culture in public sector banks, as you rightly put it, is different. So we make it a point that they should come before the office hours start. So they do that, and some of them definitely they also do after the office hours at 5 in the evening. But I always tell, whenever, I mean, in my initial address when I report to Bank of India, I did say that every individual is responsible for his or her own health, and they have to figure out what would relieve themselves of the stress. So it can be either physical exercise, or it can be any of the instrumentation. You figure out, but you ought to remain healthy for taking up the pressures and the work of the bank further. That is one thing. But now what I have done after taking over Bank of India is, after the Scale 5 promotion, I necessarily send them out even for this Art of Living, or from the Jaggi Vasudev's courses. I also participate in that. So it is not compulsory, but such are the executives who want to join, we do together in the common hall for about 25 minutes, and then we go. So when a leader also joins, then others are motivated to come in. True. So I presume, this will set in. It's good for all. So then we have started that, and we are doing for the last 2 to 3 months.
Coming up, stay tuned for more expert advice.
Aerobic exercise without any cost, anybody can have.
Warm-up is very, very important. A good sleep night before is very, very important. Last meal to be consumed at sunset a day before, very, very important. A good massage would help. A session of meditation will help. A session of prayer will help. Visualize the whole run, unfolding event before them in their minds, because playing it out, positive visualization, is a very good psychotherapy.
Budget 2015, the litmus test of the Modi government's Make in India campaign. After promises made, will we now focus on delivery and action plans? Will the biggest budget script the India turnaround story and set a new growth agenda? Watch India's most awaited budget with the Budget Specialist. Get actionable insights and unmatched coverage every second, every hour on Budget Day. Budget 2015, the Make in India budget, the biggest budget on the biggest business news network. Associate sponsor, Lloyd Air Conditioners, Jo De Khushiyon Ki Guarantee, and RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies.
What if we could all be doctors?
Good question. But with our cities facing so many healthcare issues, doctors alone are not the answer. That's why Hitachi looks at the big picture. From prevention to examinations to therapy, we're using our information technologies and medical equipment to make things better for generations to come. Hitachi Social Innovation.
It's our future.
Hitachi. Inspire the next.
Presenting a unique technology platform that's leveraging the power of the global IIT IIM alumni network by bringing India's top institutes together to drive innovation and entrepreneurship. Ivy Cap Ventures presents Ivy Camp Innovation and Entrepreneurship Conclave this February in Mumbai. Media partner CNBC TV 18.
Presented by Ivy Cap Ventures and Ivy Camp. Co-hosted by Ticker Plant.
Introducing the new Gillette Fusion. With 5 blades spaced closer together for more comfort. On the back, a precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, the precision of 1. Gillette Fusion.
Kids will love it, and parents will love it even more. NSE Financial Quest Season 4, powered by CNBC TV 18, an investor education initiative by NSE IPFT. India's first financial literacy program for 8th and 9th grade students. At these times, only on CNBC TV 18.
Presented by National Stock Exchange.
Mr. Dhawan, in Bank of Baroda, how would you tell an employee who says that, I don't have time to look after my health?
Look, I don't believe of
I tell you, a leader like Mr. Dhawan, who does so much in the fitness, his employees are bound to be motivated.
Very true.
Yeah, you know, there are two things. I don't believe a word of it that if somebody tells me they don't have time, the first thing I ask him is, what time do you go to sleep? So look, we in the public sector, we don't keep people till midnight. But people do keep awake till midnight. They will not get up early in the morning. So first of all, you have to have healthy habits. You have to get up early in the morning if you want to go for a walk. I think the walk is the simplest aerobic exercise without any cost anybody can have. So that is the first thing. The second thing is that people say we have tension. So then I ask them, why is it that you have tension? This decision, that decision, 100 crore ka kharab ho gaya, loan NPA is
you get up in the morning, you're very stressed, so you can't exercise.
Yeah. No, you see, it's to the extent that I can help, I can tell there are some things you can do something about, there are some things you can't do something about. Whatever you can do something about, do it. What most people are afraid of doing is taking a decision. So, what is it? Sometimes when I go on tour, I go to the zonal offices, I go to the, mostly I interact with the general managers in my field. So I ask them, what's bothering you? The first thing, I ask them, what's bothering you? This and bothering. All right, we'll do this here. So the way I get rid of their tension is, if they can't come to a decision, I help them to come to a decision, or perhaps in extreme cases, I come to a decision myself and say, you do this. So that I find does reduce the burden of tension that they have. So the important point over there is, it is important to take a decision, whether it be good and bad, and having taken it, forget about it. Because you've taken a decision, what more can you do more than that? It could be right, it could be wrong. If things go wrong, it's in the nature of things. No matter what we do, loans will go bad. If there is an economic downturn, loans will go bad. So beyond a certain point, if to the extent that you can fix a thing, worry about it. When you cannot fix something, don't worry about it. It's some sort of a mental discipline that we have to get in.
And Mr. Bawa, coming to the Run for Fun, you also doing it, there's also a social cause attached to it. So take us through how these events can also, be tied up with social causes.
Look, although this has been only the second year of the run, and we three have been doing together as the Bank of Baroda, RFS and the Bank of India, and this is the second year. But we wanted to be a bit different from the other marathons. This marathon basically we are doing mainly for the cause of the people with the disabilities, and we had decided to donate a good portion of the amount to one of the NGOs called ADAPT, who look after all the disabled persons basically. So this is in a very different way basically we are trying to achieve this cause, good cause.
Okay. And this is the third year for IL&FS and the second year where you'll join together. Yeah. How do you see this moving forward, the Run for Fun? Take us through the 3 or 4 things that you think that will happen, whether it's in terms of health, whether it's in terms of social causes.
See, according to me, basically we have been able to successfully, we are achieving 3 main things out of this marathon. One is a simple thing, that a fitness awareness is coming among the employees. More and more employees basically focusing on the daily walk, on the daily fitness activities. More and more people are joining in the gym. I mean, they're really thinking, focusing on their health. That's one thing. The second thing, basically, there is a greater amount of bonding is coming among the employees. Employees are really, at least I see in my office, people are so, have a frequent interaction and a good relations with the employees of the Bank of Baroda, employees of the Bank of India. Okay. That's a really very good thing basically. And third is basically what we have achieved this year and will be achieving in a larger way in the coming years, is that we are able to help the good causes. Like this year basically we have decided to support the cause of the disabled persons, and maybe next year we may think something else, but we need to reach the needy people out of this.
Okay. Mrs. Iyer, how do you see this Run for Fun shaping up? And also being, in BKC, one of the finest financial centers of Mumbai, how do you see this BKC also developing, perhaps because of this?
It's really shaping up well, the marathon which has been conceived by IL&FS, and that now we 3 organizations have joined. And we did talk last year, Mr. Bawa was telling that we should include all the financial institutions which are here around, and it would be really a great and grand marathon. So I think it's only a question of time that all of us would come together, and that would be really an event to be looked for by everybody. And this year's theme is especially, very noble in support of persons with disability. Often we find even today that, social stigma attached with the family members, that they really don't come out publicly if at all they have a member who have either disability physically or mentally, So I think we are telling the world that it is time that we recognize that they also need to get integrated with all of us, and we need to create an environment for them so that they can nurture themselves well, and they can they do get whatever rightfully is theirs, just like any one of us in the society.
Mr. Dhawan?
Basically, as I see it, running in an atmosphere of this sort is fun for most people. In fact, people who are very sedentary, housewives for instance of officers who come for such thing, they find it great fun to intermingle. It gives an informal platform for them to get to know other people. And so many people also, organize a sort of a small lunch at the end of it, or some tea party. So it's an opportunity to get together and have it is slowly becoming a big street party for a lot of people. So it's a fun event.
So we're ending this show on a very optimistic economic and physical health. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
With the path set for one of corporate India's biggest run, and with our esteemed experts already giving their advice, it's time to now look forward to the I Run for Fun 2015 edition. Stay fit.
I'd like to tell my audience, to all the participants at the marathon, that let wellness be your religion number one. Attend to your wellness and God will throb in you. Attend to your wellness and angels will shower you with blessings. Attend to your wellness and you will refine and evolve, and attend to your wellness and you will grow completely. So, see you there, enjoy yourself. Once again, naturalize, optimize, maximize, energize, Mickey-mize.
Presented by ILNFS Financial Services, the Infrastructure Investment Bank.
Be not defined by boundaries. Always think out of the box. Go beyond the edge to the edge of brilliance. Introducing the Samsung Galaxy Note Edge. The edge of brilliance.
Healthcare was addressed in detail at the Vibrant Gujarat Summit 2015, where national and international speakers gave their views on the fusion of healthcare with technology.
So you put this onto your Android phone, put the 3 fingers on each side, and I will give you an ECG in 3.5 minutes.
Watch the seminar on Health for All, leveraging technology, innovations and enablers at these times only on CNBC TV 18.
Brought to you by Vibrant Gujarat Global Investor Summit 2015.
Guys, चलें?
जगह